Okay, so today we're going to do a mostly on the floor, seated and laying on the floor sequence. We are going to be using a strap. It doesn't have to be necessarily a yoga strap. It can be a belt, it can be a piece of rope, it can be a towel, just something that is strong enough to have a little tension put on it. We're going to start out in a seated position. I prefer to sit on a folded blanket. Just gives me a little bit of height, takes a little bit of extra tension out of the hips and low back. So just take a couple breaths sitting in a cross-legged position. Having your breath come in and out through the nose. Let your shoulders just slide down your back. Good. On your next inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale, sweep up. Hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. On your exhale, we're twisting to the right. So the right fingertips on the floor behind you, your left arm crosses the body to the leg. So press your hand into the leg, turn your gaze back. Breath stays deep. Good. Back up to center, reach high. And exhale, twisting to the left. Again, press your hand into that leg, turn your gaze towards the back of the room. Good, back to center, reach both arms high. Good, and take both hands to the floor behind you, fingertips to the floor. You can be up on your fingertips or palms flat, just depends on what's comfortable. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart, turn your gaze up. Open through the throat. Good, bring your gaze forward and release. We're going to take that strap, holding onto the strap, just a little wider than our shoulders. We want our elbows straight. So if you have tighter shoulders, you want your hands further away from each other. Closer the hands are together, the more intense it's going to be. So on your inhale, take the strap overhead. Keep the elbows straight. Exhale, strap comes behind. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward. Inhale up. Elbows stay straight. Exhale back. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward. One more time, just like that. This time, as you bring the strap overhead, leave it there. We're going to take our right hand and drop it back and down diagonally. Again, elbows stay straight. There's tension through the strap. So you're really pulling that right hand down towards the floor, but you're pressing the left hand up towards the sky. So you're getting a nice opening through the armpit and the shoulder. Good, back up to center. Over to the other side. So left hand drops back and down diagonally. Again, elbows stay straight. Keep the strap taut. You're pulling that left hand down and you're reaching the right arm up. Good, back up to center. Go ahead and release that strap. bend the legs, feet on the floor, and I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Hands on the floor behind you, fingers facing away from you. Okay, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your heart, turn your gaze up. And from here, you're gonna lift your hips up and shift them towards your feet. Keep lifting up through the heart. You can walk your feet away from you if you need to. So just keep scooching your hips towards your feet until you reach your limit. Being mindful of your shoulders. Keep lifting up through the heart. Nice deep breaths. Good, and to release, lift your hips and shift them towards your hands. Shaking the arms out. Can be intense for the shoulders. Do a couple shoulder rolls, shake things out. Now we're coming up into a broken toe pose. So again, we are tucking our toes under and we're sitting on our heels. Okay, so that can be very intense. If this is too much, a blanket or a block can go in between your thighs and calves. Still, if that is too much, you can be up on your knees. This is great to open up the soles of the feet, the fascia along the soles of the feet. And of course, if you have had surgically, your big toe joints are fused, obviously you will not be able to do this. Hands on the floor, fingertips facing your knees, pressing the palms down. Make sure your fingers are spread wide and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Really press the base of your, so like the base of your thumbs, right there, press it into the floor actively. If that's not enough, you can walk your hands away from your knees a little bit, so it's a little bit of a deeper stretch. Other option is that you can bend the elbows. Two more breaths here. Good. Slowly release the hands, shake them out. And we're just going to shift forward into tabletop, release the feet. You can do a couple ankle circles. You can tap the feet on the floor, whatever they need, whatever feels good, just to kind of release them. But from here, we're going to come release down onto our belly. Arms out to the sides. We're going to roll onto our right side. We're making sure that our wrist is in line with our shoulder, palm facing towards the floor. We're rolling onto the side of our body. That left elbow bends and you've got your fingertips on the floor. That's kind of helping you gauge how deep you can take it. So you can leave your top leg stacked on the bottom leg. Other option is that it can bend and you put the foot on the floor behind you. So again, this left hand is kind of your gauge. You can press your left hand into the floor to take it a little bit deeper. Being really mindful of your shoulder. It's a deep opener for the shoulder and you want to be careful of the shoulder joints. Good, releasing back to center. Take a breath at center. And then we'll take the other side. So make sure that the left wrist is in line with the shoulder. We're rolling on to the side of the body. Again, palm is facing down towards the floor. And now the right elbow bends and you have your fingertips on the floor or the palm on the floor and you're pressing into the floor to take you a little bit deeper. Oh, maybe that's too much. Release a little bit. So use that as your gauge. How deep can you go? Top leg can bend, putting the foot on the floor behind you. Make sure the breath stays deep. Good, release back to center. Just take a breath at center. Now take your arms overhead. On your next inhale, lift your arms and your legs up, coming into Superman pose. So think about squeezing the legs in towards each other. Breath stays deep and you should feel your breath against the floor. Gaze comes forward. You're engaging the muscles along your back. Go ahead, releasing down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Engage your legs. So as you engage your legs, your knees come up off the floor. Elbows draw in towards you. Fingers spread wide. Press your hands into the floor, coming up into plank pose. So shoulders are over the wrists, you're actively pressing the floor away. You're reaching the crown of the head forward, pressing through the heels. Nice deep breaths. Good, sit bones pulling you back into downward facing dog. Releasing down into child's pose. So big toes come towards each other. Hips drop down towards your heels. Knees can be nice and wide. And you're letting your forehead drop down towards the floor. Breathing into your back body. Good, slowly coming up. We're making our way onto our backs. I'm gonna lay sideways again so you can see what we're doing. We're gonna do broken wing. So have your knees bent, feet on the floor. We're gonna start with our right hand. So we're gonna drop our knees over to the left and our right hand is sliding under our back, just along our waist. And then our knees come back to center and we lay flat on our back. Our forearm is pinned underneath our back. Again, we're starting out, so our forearm is right along our waist, 90-degree bend at the elbow. So just take up a couple breaths here. This may be totally fine for you. This may feel really intense. If it's intense, this is where you need to stay. If it feels fine, you want to take it further. Again, let your knees drop over to the left. And we're going to adjust our hand so that our hand is in between our shoulder blades. Again, the palm facing down towards the floor. And then we roll back to center. Okay, so we are pinning that arm underneath us for the stretch. Now see if you can get your right shoulder blade to gently drop into the floor. And we take some nice deep breaths. Just gonna stay here for a little bit. More of a yin style pose. The longer we stay in a pose, like this long time, it gets into the fascia, so the connective tissue. So just close your eyes and focus on your breath. From here, slowly release. So let your legs drop to the left, release the arm, and come back to center. Just take a breath or two, kind of notice the difference between your left shoulder and your right shoulder. And we'll take the other side. So the legs drop to the right, the left arm comes behind you, palm facing down. Start out with your forearm at your waist. Excuse me. If this is okay and you want to take it further, bring your hand in between your shoulder blades. Letting your left shoulder blade drop towards the floor. And just breathing into it. And being okay that your sides may not be equal. So one side may be a little bit tighter than the other. That's totally normal. We're not equal on both sides. We have a dominant side. So just be grace, give yourself a little bit of grace and understand that, both our shoulders may not be equal, and that's totally fine. Slowly release that side. Just take a breath or two, noticing how it feels. Again, notice right and left sides. Rolling to your side, coming up to a seated position. Take a couple shoulder rolls. So draw your shoulders up towards your ears with your inhale. Exhale, roll back and down. And really make the movements big, like over exaggerate the movements. Continue on. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, roll back and down. A couple more times. And then come back to neutral. Sweeping the arms out and up. Press the palms together, hands down to your heart with your exhale. Couple nice deep breaths.